journey, bro. Man. Somebody had sent me a clip. You talking about me calling child services on you and MAGA the other day. You know, and just leave me out of what you got going on over there, bro. Bro, you got a bunch of weird flex going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 1,500 views totals your whole manhood. That's what you're portraying, bro. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not a part of what you got going on over there, bro, but you keep on mentioning me, bro, and I don't have nothing to do with that going on over there, bro. Like, you, again, all of your private business is not, what should be private, bro, is public. You know what I mean? Like, you worrying about the wrong stuff, bro. Like, flex some manhood. Bro, you over there arguing and threatening women, homie. Like, it's easy to be an alpha man in your mind when you entertaining all these women in a negative fashion, bro. Now, I know that's not going to make sense to you. It's going to only make sense to somebody that's actually operating in an alpha aura. You understand what I'm saying, bro? Like, flex a job. Flex a car payment. Flex some insurance. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, it's almost as if you using this probation violation is hanging over your head that you swear is nothing more than a month in jail and a slap on the wrist. You using that to purposefully limit who you could be as a man to yourself, homie. I don't have to come to the internet and prove nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you threatening to go to Sarah's house, you threatening to go over here, and you're threatening to go over there. Meanwhile, you don't go none of these places ever, bro. And these ladies know that. Right? Like they know this, bro. If, God forbid, you move past and take care of this probation violation, then what? You gonna be forced to do some man stuff? Like, are you avoiding doing man stuff so that you can stay trapped on the internet for a couple of new members a stream or a day, right? 1,500 views. Like, bro, that is not a huge following, okay? It's not a huge following, and let's not stay trapped in what we used to do on the internet or what kind of views we used to do. It is a complete preoccupation with no occupation. It's a complete preoccupation with numbers, bro. Numbers. So you can go online and you can spend 4 hours and do 1,500 views. You do know 1,000 views is about $15, right? So the other 500 views is about $7. So for $23 and some change, you spending 4 hours to do it, homie. Right? It's like $5 an hour. $5 an hour, bro. Meanwhile, bro, like, we're not getting no younger. You understand what I'm saying? Like, jump on there and do some man stuff, bro. Because a man is supposed to lead by example, Let me tell you what, Ernie, there isn't no men following your example. Right? That's the ism of being a man. Doing man stuff, bro. Doing man stuff. All these crazy lies. I mean, bro, this is the thing. Only you have to lay down with you and fall asleep on that pillow knowing what you know about you. Now, as of late, your real personal business has popped up. And let me tell you what, Ernie, I don't want to know about your personal business. But because I do, I have one thing to say to you as a man that operates on a man's level. And that's this, homie. You have HIV. It is your duty, first of all, to keep yourself prepared in the event, well, I don't know, you're going to travel hundreds of miles to go to a woman's house, pop up on her doorstep, knowing that it could be some activities, and you don't have a condom, you don't have any spermicide, you don't have, this woman didn't see you take no pills. Like, Ernie, shame on you, bro, for even allowing this woman to make the decision to have sex with you unprotected. It is your duty to never do that. But because you did, this is another YouTube, this gal's a YouTube personality to an extent. So she already knew what came with that before you got there. That behavior that has been exposed to the internet, that very behavior right there is the thing that leads the masses to believe that there could be, or probably be, women out there you haven't said anything to. And I'm starting to feel like that's a truism. Like, bro, you sitting there talking about this woman drinks too much, she does too many drugs, whatever. In one breath, you're going to complain about that, but in the second breath, you taking advantage of the fact that the woman is intoxicated. And you are allowing her to make the decision to have sex with you unprotected. Ernie, make that make sense, bro. It doesn't make sense. There's no way, and I'm guessing probably how you justify it in your mind is by saying, you know what, it was her choice. Nobody didn't pull her leg. Didn't nobody, you know what I'm saying? She knew the truth. She decided to do it. It is your responsibility to make sure that she's safe, that every man or woman is safe, Ernie. As men, real men, we don't allow women to make that, for that woman to make that decision to compromise her life. Now, it is a reoccurring theme, Ernie. This is not an isolated event, homie. Every single person whose home you visit and you stay for any amount of time, they always end like this. Every single one of them. Maybe not to the exposure degree that Carolyn is exposing y'all's business, but there has to be some things that are left a mystery, homie. Has to be. Listen, it's only somebody that don't have nothing going on in their life at all that finds this stuff interesting in the slightest, homie. This is not interesting, Ernie. This is sad. It is sad that you apparently are not the brand of man that would say, Carolyn, you know what? You know I got HIV. There's just no way I could allow you to become exposed. That now becomes my full-time job as a man with HIV. You have to, that's the disclosure, bro. Now, that's when you're operating at your peak manhood. When you're not operating at your peak manhood, you keep some condoms around. Now, don't lead the whole internet to believe that you lie, you're a liar for hire, you lie about everything else except being undetectable, homie. You have a pattern of leaving these pills behind you when you move around forward. Not only that, but you can't take one pill on a Wednesday and remain undetected. In your mind, you can. You cannot take a pill on a Wednesday and remain undetectable to a Friday, even. You have to remain with a certain level of this medicine in your bloodstream in order to remain undetectable. Now, this woman even gave you the grace by saying, you know what? Maybe while he was in the bathroom or while he's on a 9-hour walk, he took his big Tarvy. Maybe so. Maybe that's her trying to trick her own mind into believing at some point in time you've slowed down long enough to take the medicine consistently to remain undetectable. It's not a cure. Big Tarvy is not a cure. It is a regimen. You have to take it every single day. Every day. Otherwise, you have a virus inside of you, homie, that will kill you. And you think that if you decide you've been on this medicine every day since you found out you were HIV positive, and you think if you want to take Christmas Eve off from taking the medicine, that HIV virus is going to take the day off with you, bro? It is not, homie. That medicine takes no days off because that virus takes no days off. Now, listen, bro, I'm not mad at you. Don't confuse any of this into believing you gotta have a retort, or you have to have a comment back, or that you're gonna say something to spark a drama with me. That ain't the case, homie. That is not the case. Now, you and I both know you called me going on 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, and you said you ate some puffer fish, homie. I put you on the phone with my mom. You said you and MAGA both ate the puffer fish, and that 1 whole year later, almost to the month, both of y'all fell down sick. Well, I don't know why you asking to talk to my mom about it, because guess what, homie? She's just a nurse. You was in the relationship with the doctor. You asking doctor questions of a nurse while you're in a relationship with a doctor. What kind of precedent do you think that sets? Right? And you can come on here and you can say, oh, Benny Keys is lying and this and that. You and me, bro. You and me know. And my mom makes 3. You hear me? She was there. She said on more than one live stream, when this topic has come up, did she talk to you? Talk to you? She said yes. And it was about the pufferfish. Now, Ernie, something's got to give, homie. I wish the best for you like I do anybody. But man, you got to start, you got to do better, bro. You have to. There's no way around it, bro. You coming across as somebody that has zero compassion, no empathy, and probably zero remorse, right? So you're going to allow this woman to have intercourse with you unprotected. This is not a flex for Carolyn to come on the internet and say these things. It's her truth. So I'm taking it as truth. I don't think any time in the future we're going to hear Carolyn come on and say, oh, no, wait, I didn't have sex with Ernie. It was just a stain. So you're going to allow her first to venture into an activity with you that's risky. Probably she's intoxicated. You was only there 2 days. You said in the span of 2 days, she drinks too much and she does drugs. So you're dealing with a woman who is incapacitated to some degree, right? You allow her to become engaged in a risky behavior with you. What happens if she gets it, Ernie? What happens if she's contracted that, Ernie? If we are to believe what we see with the Ernie that's available now, you're going to say it's her fault, right? You're going to say it's her fault, when in all actuality, you could have been the one to save her from ever becoming infected. How do you do this? Protection. Protection, protection, protection. Protect you first. Her second, right? That's the mentality. But when you have HIV, it's not you first anymore. It's her first, then you. You don't know anything about Carolyn. You don't know that Carolyn couldn't give you something that could compromise your health. That's what you don't know. But you just you said it before. Why one night of passion when it could be a lifetime? So you're throwing your health to the wind. Throwing your health to the wind. Not only that, you're allowing her to throw her health to the wind. They say before, HIV is not a death sentence. It doesn't have to be a death sentence. But if you aren't taking your medicines and you are leaving a trail of people behind you that are potential contractors of this disease, this virus, it's a super spreader event. Are we to think that Carolyn is going to put on a chastity belt and never engage in relations again? So now you start to see where the whole web design starts, right? It can go on and on and on and on and on and on. And the reason, part of the reason why it's at where it is now is because of people like you. That is not a decision you allow somebody to make, even if they're stone cold sober. Let alone a decision you're going to allow this woman to make a decision like that while she's intoxicated. Man, inhibitions are at an all-time low. And really, bro, shame on you. That is not predator-hunter behavior, homie. I mean, I don't think we've seen no predator-hunter behavior in a while. But to allow a woman to put her life at risk is absolutely horrid. It is beyond the pale of any comprehension, bro. It's beyond the pale. And you know what? In a perfect world, you would be ashamed of yourself. But you're gallivanting around, right? You're gallivanting around like you got, like in a whimsical world. In closing, bro, what I think you should do is stop threatening women and unlock your own reality. That's what you need to do. You need to get busy getting right with the Lord of your understanding and unlocking your own reality, bro. You are closer to 50 than you are 40. You don't have a car. You haven't had a car in years. The car that you did break, you blamed it on YouTubers. Well, I'm not even going to go all into that. Stable lodging, regular nourishment, hygiene. Like, bro, you ride in buses in order to be inside and out of the weather. It's cheaper to ride the subway, or it's cheaper to ride a bus than it is to get a hotel room for the night. So you'll ride the bus for 24 hours, hang out somewhere, turn around and ride it back 24 hours, bro. I mean, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. But in the meantime, you've already, that we know of, you've already allowed one person to jeopardize their life and future. And now it's just become a YouTube mockery, right? It's a YouTube mockery. You could have played that whole thing differently, and you would have had, you could have had an ally for life. Instead, it's just burnt bridges, bro. It's burnt bridges, burnt bridges, burnt bridges. And it almost, you can see the cycle. It's almost as if you are locked and dialed in to going to the next place and creating a fallout of historic proportion just so you have the next piece of drama to get 1,500 views. And now the whole thing comes full circle. Come on, bro. I'd like to say you're better than that, but I don't know if you are. Do you understand that your ride is not progressing uphill, but instead consistently degrading and going downhill? Your situation is not getting any better. You aren't working towards a better life. You are working towards a more terrible than last time right now. And that's a fact. If I was carrying around the HIV virus, bro, I couldn't live with myself. Even being involved in the kind of situation that you allowed Carolyn to get involved. Now, full disclosure, and I close this by prefacing it by saying, if this is a stain between you and Carolyn, disgusting, bro. That's even equally as low as allowing her to actually do it, right? Anyways, I've said enough. It's gonna fall on deaf ears. This is not an open invite to, I don't know, do anything. This is just enough is enough, right? Have a great night.